TK Guillotine here, and Kingdom is by far probably the best entry in the War for Cybertron trilogy. Now, at the moment right now, I'm leaning towards my favorite entry of the War for Cybertron trilogy being Siege, since it's contained most of my favorite figures from the line, but I do think Kingdom is probably the overall strongest. We're going to be ranking Kingdom Wave 1 today, and I'm just going to tell you straight off the bat, this might be the single strongest wave of Transformers ever. There's not one figure in this wave that I think is below a B tier, man. It is just a god tier wave, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this ranking is really just gonna be a gush fest of this wave, because I really don't have very many negative things to say about it. So without further ado, let's jump into this. Coming in at the number 10 spot, because there are 10, we're going to, the number 10 spot is going to be one that I'm sure a lot of people probably thought it would be, Core Class Optimus Prime. Once again, not below a B tier in my opinion. I think he is a solid little Legends Class Optimus Prime. I think the transformation is clever and fun. I like his, I like the fact that they gave him a fun little ion blaster. He is a perfectly fine little Legends Class Optimus Prime, and I honestly like him. But like, when we're ranking this god tier wave, there has to be a bottom of the list, obviously, because that's how rankings work. So, you know, there had to be one, and for me, I think Optimus Prime was a pretty easy choice for the bottom of the list. So, there you go, number 10 is Core Class Optimus Prime. Coming in at number 9 on this list, and you're gonna have to forgive me for this one because my, the entry on this list is in a conference right now. It's Kingdom Paleotrex, the first of our fossilizers, and here is mine. And yeah, like I said, he's in a conference right now. But Kingdom Paleotrex is really, really cool. I think he's a fun fossilizer. I like Ractonite quite a bit more for the fossilizers, and actually I like Vertebrake more than either of those, but we'll talk about Vertebrake when we get to him. But Paleotrex is really fun. He's got a fun design that really reminds me of Deoxys from Pokemon. I like his little flip up and down mask. I can show that right here. His little flip up and down mask. I think that is pretty cool. He's super fun to break apart and mix together. Like, I mean, yeah, I've been having a ridiculous amount of fun with the fossilizers, man. They are by far my favorite of the like parts forming War for Cybertron trilogy gimmicks. I love the fossilizers very much. But yeah, Kingdom Paleotrex is very cool, but when it came to the rest of these figures, he was a pretty easy spot for number 9 for me. But yeah, number 9 is Kingdom Paleotrex. Coming in at number 8, I'm sorry to do this to you, man, but it's gotta be Warpath, unfortunately. I think this is a killer Warpath, but the fact that I just really hate transforming this figure, and I mean hate transforming this figure. This is one of the worst transformations I have ever seen. This does a lot of shit I've never seen before, and I never want to see ever again. He does so much shit that just is very obnoxious to do, mainly in his legs, but both of his modes just look phenomenal. Like, they are incredible representations of the character, and I'm a big fan of Warpath. I really liked him in G1, as I'm sure most people did, and this is an extremely good Warpath, but when it came to the rest of the figures, he had to go here. I'm sorry, I hate to do him because he's a great figure, but his transformation is really his Achilles heel. But I do think he's really good. He pretty much, honestly, there's not one complaint I have with the way he looks. He looks like Warpath walked off the damn screen. Man, he looks phenomenal. The parts forming piece, I'm not a big fan of, and I don't even use it. I just put him in tank mode and let the little thing have a little crack in the front. I don't really care that much. It's not worth it for me. I don't really like that parts forming piece at all. Yeah, and like, that's another thing. Like, he parts forms to get that last little piece to just, that piece in the tank mode. I don't really feel like that needed a parts form, because there could have just been a better there could have been just a solid tab that connected them together, and it would have been perfectly fine and no need for parts forming. But yeah, they had to add that little shield piece in there. And yeah, I mean, he's a great figure. He's a phenomenal Warpath, but for the rest, for this wave, this incredible wave of Transformers, he had to be here. So number 8, or is it number 8? Yeah, number 8, Kingdom Warpath. Sorry, buddy, but you are dynamite. Dynamite! Boom! All right, Vertebrake, come out of the conference. Come on, man. I know. There we go. Going in at number 7, for me, this honestly kind of hurts because I've kind of fallen in love with this guy, is gonna have to be Vertebrake. Vertebrake is my favorite of the core class figures, but I cannot in good conscience say he is the best one. Definitely not. Definitely would not feel good about saying that. But he is freaking phenomenal, and I absolutely love him. His transformation is super fun. Really, really like it. His pose ability is great. His tolerances are phenomenal. There's absolutely no floppiness. He feels fantastic in the hand. He's even got this nice little weapon storage built in for his tail. If he wants to let go of it, let go of it. You can plug the tail in back here, which is pretty cool right there. I just love this little guy, man. I've loved him ever since I've had him. He's been in my pocket like for the longest time. I've taken him to work and just messed with him on my breaks. Like, he's just a really fun little nobody bot, and I really like him. And unfortunately I couldn't put him higher than number 7 because of his competition, but I absolutely love him, man. I say he's S tier, but if I'm being real, I don't really think he deserves to be anywhere higher than number 7. So there you go, number 7, Vertebrake. Oops, well, you know what? Let's put him back in his conference here. Get into your conference. There we go. And boom. All right, thank you, sir. Coming in at number 6 on this list. This is another one that kind of hurts me to put this right now because I think this figure is pretty damn phenomenal. And it is my favorite character from Beast Wars. But for number 6 is going to have to be Blackarachnia. I think she's absolutely phenomenal. But once again, common problem with doing these rankings, the competition, man, is just close. It's very close. And for me, she has enough drawbacks to her that makes me put her at number 6. Now, I think she's a dynamite version of Blackarachnia. I don't really have many complaints at all. The tolerances are phenomenal. Absolutely no looseness whatsoever. Transformation is where the issues come in because their transformation is very good. And I would say it's fun once you get the hang of it, but it takes a while to get the hang of it. This is a weird one for me because when I first got her, I kind of hated her transformation. I didn't really do it very often, but after I've done it a couple times, I've got the hang of it. It's actually pretty smooth, honestly. It does scare me a little bit. There are some pieces of it that scare me a little bit, like the fact that you have to, there's some clearance issues with it that are very difficult, like, I just have to say it. Her tits, they're very hard to get out of the way when you're transforming her. And also this piece right here that you have to open up, this kind of scares me because you can see this like very thin piece of plastic that it's on. And it's scary. I don't see any signs of it breaking, and I've just been super, super careful with it when I transform her. Also, by the way, I would like to say this because I'm pretty sure I'm like one of the only people who this hasn't happened to. The peg on her tits for me did not break, so mine actually locks in very nicely, which is very, very, very nice. And I know that's a problem like 99% of people had with this figure, but I did not. Mine is perfect in that regard. And honestly, I think her spider mode is pretty damn dynamite, so it does hurt me to put her this low, but for me, this was a good spot for her because compared to the rest of the figures, it's once again just that problem of competition where she's a phenomenal figure, but her competition is just so damn fierce. But yeah, I think she's an absolutely perfect Blackarachnia figure, and I love her. So number 6 is Blackarachnia. Coming in at the number 5 spot is going to have to be Cheetor. Now, I'm going to be real with you guys. So far, I think this Cheetor is probably my favorite deluxe class in Kingdom so far. But I know a lot of people have their issues with this figure. I do kind of understand a majority of them, but as someone who can kind of accept them, I have a lot to talk about with this guy, so let's just get into it. First off, I do want to say, this does not come with him. This is from an upgrade kit that I bought. This is to give him his show-accurate gun. That does not come with him. You will have to buy that separately, but I would recommend it because it's very nice. Look at that. Oh, I love it so very much. But I think this figure is honestly dynamite, and I know a lot of people hate this figure because they don't like what they've done with the colors for Cheetor, and I get that. And originally, I was going to get the Netflix one, but then we found out that the Netflix one, the legs don't have the blue paint, and he looks really unfinished, and I don't like it, so I skipped on him because I prefer having the blue paint, and I overall don't have that many issues with the colors on Kingdom Cheetor. And honestly, besides that, I don't really think there's anything to complain about here, people. I know some people say his feet aren't very good. I've had absolutely no issues with getting him to stand up. He has good ankle pivot. He has a forward and back on his foot as well. He's not difficult to get stand up. Just put him on the shelf and then just kind of finagle with his feet, and he'll stand up phenomenally. His whip thing. This is another thing people have problems with. I get this one because it would be nice if he came with a show accurate gun, but. Sorry, that was a really weird noise. I don't know if you caught that on here, but I don't know. But anyway, the whip axe thingy, I don't really like it very much. But once again, when you get that upgraded kit, that problem's pretty much gone. So it's pretty much gone for me. And for me, all I do is I just stick it into the little spot in that his legs make, and it just chills there for me. It's perfectly fine. So yeah, and the transformation in the alt mode, in my opinion, are perfect. His transformation is insanely fun, and his alt mode is fantastic with very little flaws, which is insane for a beast former. And yeah, I get where people are coming from with their issues with this guy. They don't like the liberties Hasbro did with the character, but overall, I think he is dynamite. I really do. And I think people might just be getting a little too carried away with their dislike of this thing, because a lot of people have hailed this as their least favorite Kingdom figure, and I just don't understand it. There's virtually no issues with this figure, really. He has phenomenal tolerances, absolutely no looseness whatsoever, which is just the best. His transformation is phenomenal. His robot mode looks fantastic, looks like Cheetor. His alt mode is one of the best beast mode alt modes I've ever seen. So, where are you coming from other than the fact that they changed the colors around? Is that really the only thing is that really the one thing that just makes you absolutely outright hate this figure, even though it's a really, really, really good Transformer figure on paper? So, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it. I think he's absolutely phenomenal, and I think number 5 is a good spot for him. So number 5 is Cheetor. Coming in at number 4 is gonna have to be Rat Trap. Yeah, Chopper Face. Oh man, Rat Trap was so cool in Beast Wars, man. I'm a late Beast Wars fan. A good friend of mine was the only reason I ever watched it. I only watched it like 2 years ago. Yeah, Rat Trap was one of my favorite characters. I loved this dude, and man, they did him well in this freaking line. This core class figure is phenomenal. He does win my vote for best overall core class figure. Not unfortunately. I just like Vertebrae a little bit more, because Vertebrae just kind of just hit me right in the feels, man. I just loved that thing when I got him out of packaging. I just absolutely love him, but I can't deny that Rat Trap is by far the better figure. His transformation is brilliant, very fun, very good. I almost put it on my top 5 most brilliant transformations in the WFC Trilogy video. I think he really doesn't have any issues whatsoever. I think his robot mode looks phenomenal. Mouse mode is fantastic. Not mouse mode, rat mode is fantastic. Honestly, it's so good. It has no posability, but it's still so good. He comes with a show accurate gun, so that's awesome. And it even has a really nice, honestly, weapon storage in the back here. So yeah, virtually flawless Rat Trap figure here, guys. I know I know people probably expected to see him a little lower down, but I mean, I just can't find a flaw with this man. I guess it would have been nice if they could have painted him up a little bit more, made him a little more show accurate, but overall, I think he's a knockout win, man. He looks phenomenal on the shelf next to everybody else. Listen to my rap, it sounds like crap. Limp Bizkit. I'm sorry. Anyway, I think he's so good. Absolutely love this figure. So number 4 is Rat Trap. Alright, the final 3 figures on this list are all, in my opinion, some of the best figures to Hasbro's name, man, to the War for Cybertron trilogy's name. These last 3 figures are just the bee's knees, and ranking them was goddamn impossible, but this is the ranking I've come up with, and I feel pretty strongly about it. So number 3 for me is gonna have to be... Yes. This pains me to put this low, because I'm gonna be real with you. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, this is my favorite figure from the wave. No questions asked. He is my favorite. He's my number 1. But when you really boil this figure down, he's got issues. Big issues. And I just can't look past them, unfortunately. So, as much as I want to put him at number 1, and I have to put him at number 3, but he is fucking phenomenal. I love this Beast Wars Megatron figure. He he is just incredible. Like, everything about him. The flaws, honestly, the issues with him, they don't even show their face when I look at this figure, man. He's just incredible. Those flaws do exist, though, and those flaws are that his transformation is very clunky. It's, in my opinion, very fun. I love transforming this figure, but it's clunky. It's very clunky. Splitting the crotch piece is very clunky, and I found it a little difficult to do. I've transformed him many times, by the way. A lot of people have had him break, which is another reason why I just could not in good conscience put him above number 3. But for me, absolutely no signs of breaking whatsoever. I got a good one. Mine is freaking phenomenal. No tolerance issues whatsoever. Look at that. Oh, that's a magnificent sight to behold. Yeah, I got like the best one of the goddamn run. So I just cannot even deny how amazing this damn thing is. Other issues, okay, I can definitely point something out here. These little panels here, you probably heard people talk about this before. Getting these things transformed the first time, which one did I have to do it on? This one, okay. This was obnoxious. Check this out. So I actually had to cut out some of the rubber plastic on this panel because it would not come over. And I think I've seen just about every single review I've watched of this guy mention that. So yeah, that is definitely something about them. The fact that you have to cut out some of that rubber plastic to make this function properly is a bit of a problem. And I did have some stress marks originally for having to do it, but they've disappeared apparently. So yeah, that's nice. That's also very nice. Also, another issue I have with him, his dino head arm is very limited in the posing. You can only bend the elbow if you rotate the dino mode down first, which I don't like because you can't really get very many great Megatron poses because you can't really bring it up and get that. Well, you can kind of bring it up like that, but I'm just saying that it's limited with that because you can only have it going up like that. I'm sure you get I'm sure you understand what I'm putting up, what I'm putting down right now, but honestly, aside from those issues, there's just nothing I can even think of to complain with this guy. He is a phenomenal representation of Beast Wars Megatron. I love all of the things they've done to make him look like the show model. I love his little ring of teeth in front of the head. The head sculpt is just incredible. You can practically hear David Kaye's voice coming out of that, man. I love the liberties they took with this guy as well. I know that people have their issues with Hasbro kind of messing with the show models, but man, he really nails that T-Rex mode. That T-Rex mode is goddamn phenomenal, and I love it. And I put him in it so many times and just had him there in the T-Rex mode. It's just incredible looking, and man, I just absolutely love this guy. He's so good, but unfortunately, all those issues that I did talk about just how do I word this? I cannot in good conscience put him above number 3. That's what I'm trying to say. So number 3, unfortunately for me, is Kingdom Beast Wars Megatron. Yes. Number 2 is Primal. This is a perfect figure. This is a perfect figure. No issues. I have zero complaints with this figure. I know people have had their nitpicks. Some people don't like the way the legs transform. And, I don't know, this gap in the torso I've heard some people talk about. I don't give a shit about either of those. I think this figure is the spitting image of Optimus Primal from Beast Wars in robot mode. I think his monkey mode is quite phenomenal. I really, really love it. There is that thing where this kind of white paint does kind of show through in the gorilla mode if you look at it from certain angles, but doesn't bother me. I'm reasonable. I can understand that this is a $30 Voyager class figure and it can't be goddamn perfect. Even that way, I think it already is perfect. And just like, he's got it all. He looks like Optimus Primal walked out of the screen. He has all of the features you would want from an Optimus Primal figure. He has absolutely no floppiness with his joints. He is perfectly solid. He has, once again, all of the features you could possibly want. He has the flip-up guns from his forearms right there. He comes with the swords. You can open up his torso here and flip out his little shoulder cannon guns, although I will say they are a little difficult to get out of their home, but you can flip out his little shoulder cannon modes. They didn't give him the prime jets. I guess that's one thing I could say about him, but once again, a bit of a nitpick if you ask me, but because you can always just pretend he has the prime jets, but yeah, you can give him those shoulder cannons right there, which are really cool, and they even have a little bit of posability to them, which is absolutely awesome. His head sculpt is goddamn perfect. I do have a little bit of a paint chip on my mouth plate right there. You can kind of see it right there, but not a big deal, hardly even noticeable unless you get like right up to him. But yeah, like, I got no complaints with this guy, man. He is phenomenal. And the only reason he's not number 1 is I guess because he's like shorter than usual with Voyager classes, so I can't in good conscience put him above the number 1 spot, which everybody already knows what it is and probably already knew before they even clicked on this video. But I just love this thing, man. He's so fucking good. Number 2, Kingdom Optimus Primal. Alright, quick little intervention before we get to the number 1 spot. I want to rank the cards real quick from Wave 1, so let's do that. Coming in at the number 4 spot for me, this one was pretty darn easy, is Black Arachnia. I just don't really like this one that much. It's just kind of a weird picture of her. I think her face looks weird, and the peeled back, it doesn't really make things look much better. So yeah, definitely the number 4 for me. So number 4, Black Arachnia. Number 3, definitely gonna have to be Dinobot. I'm not really a fan of him, of this one whatsoever. His peeled back one is pretty cool. I like that he has the Dino mode right there. So yeah, that was probably the reason why I put this one at number 3 for me. Number 2 for me is going to have to be, I'm doing this on the spot, by the way. I'm gonna give number 2 to the Arc. I think the Arc one is very, very cool. And where's my Arc card? There it is. And I really like the peeled back version of that. So yeah, the Arc probably for number, what was it? Was it number 2? Yeah, number 2. Because I think the number 1 is pretty obviously the Optimus Prime. This one is just really cool. I remember when I got this one, I was very happy with the way it looks. Like, I just really like that picture of Optimus. And I mean, the peeled back one's a little not my favorite, but I just really like this one. This one this looks really, really good. So yeah, I think my favorites are definitely the Arc and the Optimus Prime. So yeah, quick little intermission to rank the cards real quick. But let's stop beating around the cliff jumper. It's Cyclonus, of course it is. God tier, perfect figure. I got nothing for you. He's perfect. I'm not doing this again. I made a video on him where I literally just said he was perfect 27 times, and that's all I got. I'm not doing this shit again. He's perfect. 0 flaws. Robot mode phenomenal. Transformation phenomenal. Alt mode God tier. My favorite Transformers alt mode of all time. Virtually flawless. Just incredible. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm done. I'm done talking about this figure. He's amazing. He's one of the best Transformer figures money can buy. I absolutely love him. Number 1 best figure of Kingdom, pretty darn handily, is Cyclonus. So there you go, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you thought of the ranking in the comment section down below, and leave your rankings in the comment section down below as well. I would love to hear them. Let me know what you thought of the video as well in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe give me a like, and also maybe subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me in the future talking about robots that turn into things. And with that being said, this is DK Guillotine, signing out. Although actually, I just realized I almost forgot to say one thing. One thing I wanted to say about this is that this ranking was me saying the ones that I thought were the best. I was ranking these in terms of the toys that I thought were the best overall. If this was my ranking in terms of favorites, the top 3 would have been Vertebrake, Cheetor, and Megatron probably. I'm just throwing that out there real quick. But yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick. So there you go. Thanks for watching. And this is DK Guillotine signing out for real this time. Again. I lied again. I just wanted to say one more thing as well. I will be doing this for Kingdom Wave 2 as well. I just have to get Core Class Starscream. So, Amazon, give me my Core Class Starscream already. I've waited long enough. So yeah, once I get that, we will do this again for Kingdom Wave 2. Although I'm sure just about all of you probably already know what my top 2 picks will be for Kingdom Wave 2. So, there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. For real this time. For real this time. This is DK Guillotine signing out.